How can intuitive, empathic, sensitive people feel more confident? Hi, my name is Leah Chantel, and today I'm talking about confidence for people who are very sensitive. We may have had bad experiences in the world with other people before. Maybe we were bullied in school, or we had very demanding parents who expected a lot from us. How do we move through the world with confidence? And people might assume that confidence means having a fancy car or having designer clothing. It could mean having a really big house. And there's nothing wrong with these things, right? You can do these things if you want. However, these things are not what makes you confident. There are a lot of people who have these things and yet they're still really shy and reserved, and they really struggle in their relationships with other people. And when you're a sensitive, empathic person, on the one hand, you have that gift where you can be of service and you can help so many people. But on the other hand, you might be really scared to put yourself out there, because what if somebody throws rocks at you? What if you're bullied? What if somebody doesn't agree with you? Like, there are trolls out there and it could happen. But I'm going to give you some confidence tips today to help you stand in the fire and get over it. So my first tip for confidence is that you have to start somewhere. You're going to make mistakes when you're on this journey of being an intuitive and you decide you're going to put some content out there to share with the world in order to help people. There are going to be times you make mistakes, and what you can do is observe your mistakes with detachment and learn from them, and then move forward and do a better job in the future. So that would be my first piece of advice in building confidence: is don't be afraid of making mistakes. Just do the best you can to learn from them and to move on. My second tip has to do with eye contact, and I've made this mistake many times looking at notes and trying to get everything right in my videos, but it's so important to look at the camera or to hold steady eye contact with people when you're talking to them confidently. If you're always looking around and you don't maintain that eye contact, it can be a trust issue with the other person, who feels that you're not seeing them or looking at them, or that you're distracted for whatever reason. And you don't want to stare too long. You don't want to have like loomer eyes where you're just staring forever and forever at the other person. But most of the people veer on the side of not looking long enough at the other person, or looking somewhere else, or doing something else, and you want to make sure that you're calm and you're holding eye contact and you're not afraid to do that. The next piece of advice I'm going to give you is that you should have your shoulders back, and if you have struggles keeping good posture, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want to have your shoulders back and not hunched over. And you want to do things to take care of your back and take care of your body. A lot of us get bad posture because we're sitting at computers for too much of our day. And so a few yoga exercises to help stretch our back and put our back into shape and basically allow our backs to survive the lives that we're living when we're sitting down for such a long period of time. I've even made the mistake sometimes of getting into more vigorous forms of exercise after I've been sitting all day, like running and swimming, and then not doing anything to take care of my back. You need to have exercises of some sort that are going to protect your back and help strengthen it. Because if you push yourself to do too much cardio after you've been sitting at the end of the day, yes, it can be very effective for weight loss, but it can ruin your back if you're not taking good care of it. So that's very, very critical and important. And the other side effect of having a good back is that you're going to appear more confident and you're going to have better stature when you're talking to people. And so that's a really critical piece of advice, is to take very good care of your back. And not a lot of people do these days. Many people ruin their backs through labor or work that they're doing, and then they're in pain for the rest of their lives. So you don't want to be that person. You want to have your confidence, and part of it is by taking very good care of your back and having really good posture. Another piece of advice for confidence is that you don't want to be afraid of moving your body or being expressive. I think a lot of people are in the habit where they feel insecure about dancing when they're out at a club. Actually, funnily enough, I wasn't a fan of drinking alcohol when I was in university for a lot of reasons, but I did go to clubs because I always wanted to find opportunities to dance. And dancing is very good for your confidence because it gets you in the habit of moving your body. You don't want to be afraid to move your body in a certain direction or to express yourself in some way. Of course, you don't want to fidget or do too much with your hands. That can get distracting for your audience if you're moving quite a lot, but it also depends on your communication style too. Some people do move their hands a lot and it works very well for them. And my advice on that, to find the right balance, like, are your hands distracting? Are you moving them too much? Or are they moving in a way that allows you to take up space and build your confidence and appear to have good stature? I would recommend filming yourself and seeing how well you do in terms of taking up space and how it comes across on camera. Are you appearing like somebody who knows what they're talking about? Are people valuing your opinion and valuing what you have to say? Just watching yourself, you can get a lot of feedback on how you're coming across to other people. And while that might be scary and a lot of people don't like to be on camera, I really recommend doing that. And then that's a very good precursor if you want to start releasing social media videos one day or having more Zoom meetings and talking to more people. Then you're going to come across as more confident when you've practiced in front of the camera before. My next piece of advice about confidence is that it's something that you sense about people regardless of where they are in their walk of life. A lot of celebrities will have confidence because they need to act on camera, and so they have that built into their bodies, and we think that that magic sauce is all of the exercise or the makeup or the clothing that they're wearing. But what it actually is the way that they move their bodies. And so you want to have a healthy, flexible body. You want to be committed to practices like I've mentioned before, like yoga, to help your back. But it's not only important to move your back and have it well stretched and have it sitting so you have good posture, but it's also important to have that flexibility and creativity in your body. So you're not afraid to move and take up space in front of other people. And you're not afraid to show who you are in front of other people and be authentic and lean in when they're asking questions and pay attention and show signs that you're really listening to them and you're really processing what they have to say. In fact, some people think that confidence is talking very loud and talking very fast. And while that style works for some people, I'm not saying it never works, it's not for everybody. And in fact, you can convey a lot of confidence by speaking slowly. So when you're listening to someone, being quiet can be a way of conveying confidence because you're sitting still, you're not moving too much, and you're not fidgeting. And what you might be doing though is nodding and really processing what they have to say and thinking about it and taking a moment to go inside internally and feel what they're feeling or think what they're thinking. When people see those signs that you're taking what they're saying seriously and you're thinking about what they're actually trying to convey to you rather than thinking about the next thing that you're trying to say in order to look impressive in front of that other person, people really respect being listened to and being witnessed. And in fact, that's what they crave the most. And so being loud and being out there and talking a lot is not always the best way to convey confidence. You can convey a lot of confidence by being quiet, being still, and taking time to listen to other people and using your body language to respond to them and show respect for what they're saying rather than kind of bobbing up and down or fidgeting. You want to be still with a little bit of movement to show that you're expressing your concern and your empathy for them. And then my last tip in order to show confidence in front of other people is that you're not too concerned with what they think about you. And this can come across quickly in conversation when you're trying to seek approval or validation from somebody. And when you find yourself going into that, you need to pause and ask yourself why you're doing that. So let's say, for example, there's some new person you're getting to know and you really like them, and then they tell you something that they don't like. And basically, you do the thing that they don't like. Rather than try to cover it up or sugarcoat it in some way, what you want to do instead is be authentic and own that you do the thing that they don't like. We're not all meant to be carbon copies of each other. We're meant to be our true authentic selves in life. And when we don't back away from conflict and we're willing to lean into our differences in spite of facing disapproval, we actually make ourselves more confident and more attractive to others. And that might seem anti-intuitive. It might seem like we'll be more socially accepted if we are a carbon copy of the other person. But that's actually a trap. And if you find yourself adapting to another person or trying to please them or change in some way, you might want to pause, even if it just happens like in a split second in a conversation. We all do that from time to time. I think the important thing is when it happens is you take a moment and you reflect on, why am I trying to get this person's approval? Or why am I trying to agree with them? And what can I do instead next time to be more authentic in the conversation and more confident? I hope you enjoyed my tips for intuitive people on confidence today and how to have confident conversations with other people. A lot of it is in your body. A lot of it's your body language. A little bit is your tone of voice as well. And if you can implement these tips, you're going to feel a lot better in front of other people. In fact, sometimes I wonder when people are introverted if they're actually just not knowing the tools on how to communicate sometimes in life. And if they gained those tools, maybe they'd feel more confident and more comfortable with other people and willing to listen and engage with them. In fact, introverts have a superpower of being able to listen. And if they learn how to tune in and engage that with other people, they're probably becoming better communicators than a lot of extroverted people who are more prone to talk and be loud. I hope that makes sense, and I hope you're all having a wonderful week. If you have any more tips on what you think is real, authentic confidence that would be helpful for people who are empathic or shy or sensitive to what other people have to say, definitely drop them in the comments below. I'd be really curious to see your perspectives on that. And I hope you're all having an amazing week. Take care. Bye now.